sure that all of us in this room have seen commercials like this all over TV. Now, the question you should ask yourself is, why do you need to be concerned with the messages that media is sending, and why do you need to protect yourself and your children from these messages? Today I'm going to urge you to limit your interactions with mass media. I will go over the effects of violence, sex, and the unrealistic beauty standards in media today. Now, I will first go over the effects of violence in the media on children. Now, many people have been asking the same question for years. Do violent images really make people more violent? The research has actually shown that violent images do make people more violent. And a study of 5th graders published by Amanda Schaefer found that kids who played mature games were more often to be changed to become more violent and less helpful to others. Now think about it. They use aggression in the game to reach certain levels and objectives and imitate this by getting what they want from fighting in real life. Now, instead of calmly solving the situation rationally, the children are trained to see fights as problem-solving tools. Now, the 2008 study, Grand Theft Childhood, actually reported that 60% of boys who played violent video games either hit or beat someone up that same year. Now, children are often influenced by what they see and what is around them. And they will imitate you, they will imitate the family, they will imitate the children at the school. So why won't they imitate what they see on TV? Now, according to procon.org, young people also have trouble determining what is real and what is fake. Now, children often witness murder, rape, and satanic rituals all on mass media. And this causes them to become desensitized towards the violence that they see on TV. And this desensitization gives them more cravings to want more and more realistic and violent images. Now, violent media is definitely becoming more prevalent in the world, and it's having a negative influence on everybody that it encounters. Now that I've discussed the violent aspect of media, I will now show you how media distorts the image of sex for everybody. Now, media is definitely giving the wrong idea of sex to all ages. But according to Michael Rich, the teenagers who consumed a lot of sexual content were more likely to have had intercourse by the age of 16 years old. Now, this is because media is treating the idea of sex as a nonchalant activity that everyone engages in. Everyone from college students all the way down to middle school age students. Now, because of this, more and more people are becoming at risk for unplanned pregnancies, sexually transmitted diseases, and sexually transmitted infections. Now, activists are even going so far as to boycott all of Carl's Jr.'s and Hardee's commercials because they think of them as too sexual for TV. Now, the ads, like before, are often shown almost nude women sexually eating their products because they have the idea that sex settles. But this can set unrealistic expectations of women for men and can diminish the values that a family has set for their children. Now you understand that media is more sexually explicit, I will now discuss how media has a negative effect on a young girl's self-esteem. Now, media has been known for many years to set unrealistic standards for women. And the ideal woman, according to media, is supposed to be tall, she's supposed to have thin, and she's supposed to have very large breasts. Now, research has often shown that the constant exposure to this image creates body image concerns and more eating disorders among girls of all ages. And these eating disorders can range from anorexia to binging, all the way to them researching crazy diets on the internet that are extremely unhealthy for them. Now, according to Westminster College, girls as young as 9 years old are wanting to lose weight because they want to become society's version of beautiful. Now, a very popular toy is now becoming a very large burden for these young girls. Now, Barbie is the ideal woman, and she has the ideal womanly body that every woman wants. And according to the American Psychological Association, the dolls make girls want to be thinner because they want to be pretty like the doll is. And this is often called Barbie syndrome. However, if Barbie were real, her measurements are not humanly possible at all. If she were real, she wouldn't be able to walk. She would have to walk on all fours because her ankles and her wrists are so tiny. She wouldn't have enough room in her torso for her organs, let alone any of her intestines. And she wouldn't even be able to hold her head up because her neck would be only 4 inches around in diameter. Now, media keeps on becoming more and more prevalent, and it's changing us and our children in the worst way. And now that you know all about violence, sex, and beauty in the media, you can do something about it and change these effects. By limiting the amount of media that surrounds you and your child, you can help them from these effects and save them. You can do this by blocking certain television programs and blocking the time that they have on TV. And you can also block certain websites that they visit that are inappropriate, and you can limit the amount of time that they have on the internet. Now, the government could even make stricter rating laws and stricter communications laws for, let's say, television programs and video games. Now, either way this happens, you can become a positive image for yourself, your children, and the people around you. Now, JFK once said that children are the world's most valuable resource, and it's hope for the future. And by protecting our future, we'll have a more self-sufficient and more self-confident one.